Hi, everyone. Welcome to the School of Kinesiology introductory session where we decided to get together and just highlight the important information for our various program options and areas of interest. Share this recording with you so that you can go through this and help prepare for a couple of more formalized sessions that some of the program options will have at a later point. All these program options, areas of interest, will outline descriptions of what the program options or areas of interest actually are. Those that are a little more formal and have some formalized application processes, we'll briefly introduce those and then describe a little bit about the types of courses that are included within these options. So first and foremost, some of the questions we often get are, do any of these program options actually come with any different degrees than the regular Bachelor of Kinesiology? So first and foremost, it's important to understand that there's actually only two bachelor's degrees within the School of Kinesiology. So our Bachelor of Kinesiology and our Bachelor of Kinesiology with honors. The more detailed program options and the areas of interest do not actually provide you with a different degree name, but certainly expose you to different experiential learning opportunities and specific courses that give you the depth and breadth of the specific areas. So what we're going to go through today is kind of divide up the differentiate between what's a program option and what is an area of interest. How are they similar, but more importantly, how are they different? So what we're going to go through is the more formalized program options. We split them up into our practical programs. So two of them being our athletic therapy option and our exercise science and training option. And then we have a number of academic program options, including the honors degree and our nutrition, biology, and psychology. So we'll update a little bit of description of what these actually are. More importantly, talk about some of the courses. And if you're interested in pursuing one of these program options, how do you go about it? Then our areas of interest are less formalized programs. It's more of a series of courses that are grouped together in a specific area. And again, we'll speak to each of these in more detail a little later. So first and foremost, we have the athletic therapy option. So I'm Colin King. I'm one of the faculty members who teaches within this athletic therapy option. So a little bit about what this actually is. So you can read through the slide here that the basis of this is to engage students in various theoretical principles, focus on practical skill development, and then experiential learning opportunities through working in different field-based and clinical experiences to get the students to really learn about various aspects of injury prevention, injury assessment, injury management. Important note here, and you see with the asterisks, is we actually have our pending accreditation with the Canadian Athletic Therapists Association. So we're currently not an accredited program of the CATA. The process is about to start next month. So January 1st is our official application is being submitted. So we'll talk a little bit more in the more detailed athletic therapy option information session to let you know if this is the area you're interested in, what that actually means and what that could potentially mean if you join the athletic therapy option. One of the important things with this is students often wonder, what are some of the requirements outside of the courses? So an average, I would say, per week is kind of looking in the 5 to 10 hour mark per week. Certainly some weeks, especially during a season, might be a little more. Then later parts of the season, depending on what the team is a little bit less. So that's kind of an average, over the semester. These placement hours provide students with a number of different opportunities to get practice within field-based settings. So working with different sports within their third year, and we do a rotation system, and then get paired with one single team in their fourth year where they act as a student therapist, and then as well completing some time in the clinical setting and seeing the differences between field-based versus clinical-based assessment and injury management. So most importantly with this application process, it's for students who are in their second year standing within the degree. Then we have an interview process that's going to be early mid-February. So applications themselves will come a little earlier next semester. So sometime in January, emails will be sent out to the whole kin stews that they're aware of when the applications actually are. And then students are notified, after the interview process, before the course selection date. A couple of important things, related to this. We are going to do a more just AT specific information session. I'll do another recording like this with just a little more detail for those students, and we'll make that available as well. And then early in January, during the 2-week kind of quarantining phase before the start of the semester, we'll do a more live virtual session where students can come in and ask any specific questions they have about this. So just a couple of other things, key courses for the application. We have a couple that are for the second year standing students. So certainly, looking at things like performance in the Human Anatomy 1 course and the Care and Prevention of Athletic Injuries courses from last year, as well as our Applied Human Physiology course from this current semester. Then a little bit more about the courses that are included within the athletic therapy option. So here are the outline. So it's very similar to the traditional kinesiology degree. Main differences are now the addition of this athletic therapy core. And so there are 6 courses. They're divided up. 3 of them are called assessment and rehabilitation courses. So they take you through, all the various joints separated in between the lower extremity, upper extremity, and then a more advanced spine, hip, and pelvis one. We have 2 courses that are what's called practicum-based courses. So these courses are designed around the experiential learning opportunities, focusing a lot more on practical skill development, practical skill competence, group discussions on things seen in the field and clinical settings and so forth, and then a 6th course in a therapeutic modalities. So outside of that, that's really the only difference between the regular kin. It still has the same kinesiology core courses. And basically what the athletic therapy core is, if you ever look at your PACE forms, the kinesiology electives are basically these athletic therapy core courses. The other important thing to note is just at the bottom there. So it talks a little bit about, minimum grades for actual graduation, but also it has an overall minimum GPA of 3.0 required for application to the option. And traditionally, we select a maximum of 18 students into this program option.
Hello, I'm Jonathan Fowles. I am the one of the supervisors in the exercise science and training option. And this area is to engage students in exercise science and training opportunities to learn advanced fitness assessment and exercise prescription for prevention and management of chronic disease and for performance and sport in occupations. So these courses and this process helps to prepare students to do advanced certifications in this area. So there's a couple of different ones. There's the Canadian Society for Exercise Physiology. They have the clinical exercise physiologist, as well as the high performance specialty. The high performance specialty is also, there's another certification out there called the Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist that is related to the high performance specialization. And as well, there is a registered kinesiologist in Ontario only that requires advanced competencies, meaning courses, and practical opportunities and skills in these areas. So as Dr. King outlined, the requirements kind of outside of the courses that we outline is for practical experiences of 5 to 10 hours per week. So in your 3rd year, in the junior kind of phase of the program, you get involved about 5 hours a week. And then in your 4th year through the practicums, you do 5 to 10 hours a week. The application process for this formal option is the same as the athletic therapy option. If you're in your 2nd year, you can apply basically after physiology and first term. There will be notices put out that you can apply to the different stream. And there are interviews in February And then we notify people of selection to these prior to the registration dates. So the key courses for application are, again, also similar to the athletic therapy program. We're going to look at the anatomy course, the care and prevention of athletic injuries, specifically the applied human physiology, because that one's kind of a key area in the exercise science, or a foundation in the exercise science. As well, we're going to look to see if you have been able to take resistance training or the agility, quickness, and speed. The resistance training is probably more important there, or relevant experience. Some people have a lot of background in these kinds of areas and therefore might not need the activity course in order to develop that skill set. And those will be outlined on the application forms. So again, similar to the format of the athletic therapy option, your kinesiology electives are kind of outlined, and that goes through fitness programming and advanced fitness assessment and advanced training methods, and 2 practicum courses in your 4th year, as well as an advanced course in physical activity and chronic conditions. And so those courses prepare you for the practical or the theoretical competencies for taking external certifications. As well, there's the similar requirement of GPA of 3 required to apply for this option. It says a maximum of 18 students accepted each year, but in this this program, this option, we tend to take 12 per year, just because of the number of programs that we have in, for example, cardiac rehab and our community exercise programs and things like that to cover those areas. So there'll be more information about this, as Colin alluded to, in a subsequent special session or special recording that you can learn more about the different courses and practical opportunities.
Hi, I'm Dr. Chris Shields, and I'm currently the honors coordinator in the School of Kinesiology, and I want to talk to you about the honors degree option. So this is a little bit different from the other 2 that we've just talked about, because the Bachelor of Kinesiology honors degree is a separate degree. So it's not just a program option, and you actually graduate with a separate degree. And in that way, it's a bit of a differentiator from Bachelors of Kinesiology degree. And it's also, I would argue, a differentiator from some of your other friends that may be taking honors degrees at other institutions, maybe in Ontario, because here at Acadia in kinesiology, your honors degree asks you to do, or allows you to pursue, a research project. So you actually collect data and write up an honors thesis in depth, which is different from some other honors programs you might find in other schools. And in this way, the honors degree is a challenging program for students. And we'll get to the next slide that highlights you do have to be a strong student to enter this process. But really the key is that you need to have a particular interest and a desire to sort of follow down that area of interest or research question. And we don't have a formalized application, but there is a process that you have to go through. And we tend to start in kinesiology a little earlier than in psychology or sociology or business, in that students should really be looking to identify a supervisor in a potential area or a topic in their end of their 2nd year, moving into their 3rd year. And this just means asking around, sitting down with your professors or emailing them and say, I have an idea that I'd like to chat about, and sort of seeing if honors is the way to get at that topic. If you do pursue honors in your 3rd year, usually in the fall term of your 3rd year, you're asked to change your degree, or at least by the end of your 3rd year, change to a Bachelor of Kinesiology honors degree. And then in your 4th year, you actually pursue a full thesis. So this is a full year credit. And although it's not scheduled in your timetable, it should be treated as at least a full course, if not a little bit more work. Imagine it's a course plus a little bit of practical experience. It's going to be sort of that many hours per week to complete that thesis. And then the other part of the process, there's a required final thesis presentation. So this isn't graded, but it is a required component, and that occurs basically on the last day of classes or the study day of the last term of your 4th year. The key courses that are required for this degree outside of what you normally would take in your Bachelor of Kinesiology degree, first is KIN 3163, which is your Applied Research Methods in Kinesiology course. It's a course I teach, and we sort of explore your proposal and your ideas and looking at funding and ethics review. And this is a required course. So it's a 3-hour credit in the winter term of your 3rd year. KIN 4996 is your honors thesis. So that's a 6-hour credit, a full year credit. And although you'll probably be doing thesis research starting at the end of your 3rd year, the actual credit is in your 4th year and it's full year. And I highlight that because if you want to do multiple things in your KIN degree, you're going to have to allow for space for that 6 hours of credit in your 4th year. I also have key courses here, 3883, a directed readings, and 4083, an independent study. Both of these are optional courses. They are not required for the honors degree, but a lot of supervisors suggest that you take those in your 3rd year to sort of explore the area to see if you actually like doing this sort of self-directed research-oriented learning. As an aside, if you don't want to do an honors degree, but you do want some research experience, exploring those 2 courses as just electives in your Bachelor of Kinesiology degree is also a possibility. So in terms of the calendar description of what it takes to get a Bachelor of Kinesiology honors degree, it's very much the same as what you would see for a Bachelor of Kinesiology degree, except for you have to do that 3163 and you have to do your thesis. The 2 things that I would bring your attention to are at the bottom in terms of the GPA requirement. As I said, you do have to be a strong student. So there is a GPA requirement in the kinesiology core, as well as a program requirement to graduate with an honors degree. And the last thing is that the honors degree is available in combination with some of the other options that are going to be explored here. So it can get kind of messy and kind of busy, but you can do an honors degree while also doing some of these other things that we've talked about in this slideshow.
So next up, we have 3 other more academic options that are similar to honors degree, except for that fact that they don't provide you with a different degree. So within the School of Kinesiology, as we said at the onset, we only have the BKin and the BKin honors. We don't have minors within the School of Kinesiology, but essentially that's the easiest way to think about the nutrition, the biology, and the psychology options would be having a kinesiology major with, in this case, a nutrition, essentially a minor. So where we don't have minors, we've decided to have these specific kinesiology with nutrition as the nutrition option in this case. And so, these are a series of courses that are put together between the School of Kinesiology and the School of Nutrition. And they just provide students with more depth and breadth, obviously, into the area of human nutrition. And so it is a program change. So you don't see the same type of formalized process as what we talked about with some of the others. So if a student is interested in changing to a Bachelor of Kinesiology nutrition option, the first point of contact would be the director of the School of Kinesiology. So currently that'd be Dr. Renee Murphy. So you would get in touch with Renee. He would go through to make sure that students have the required entry grades, which are included in the bottom that you can see there. An overall GPA of 2.75 is required for admission into the option, and a maximum number of 12 students will be added. So that's the point of contact. And then you'd be put into that option where essentially you're just doing more courses within nutrition. So if you look at a PACE form, it's very similar to the regular kin degree, except for you'll notice there'll be the addition of the nutrition core. So it would take some of the specific university electives and the generalized arts and science electives that are included in the regular kin PACE form, and then students actually have to complete those within nutrition instead of in some of the other departments. And so we see the same thing with our biology option as well. So if students have an interest in human bio, there is also the kinesiology with biology option. The same process. If students are interested within this, they would just contact the director of the school, and they would let them know about how to go about doing this academic program option. And it has the same requirements as the nutrition. And then the same thing down into psychology as well. And so these are three of the academic program options that are all very similar. Obviously, just the psychology core, the nutrition core, the bio core become those respective areas.
Hello, everyone. My name is Said McCary. I'm one of the supervisors with Dr. Fowles of the exercise science and training option. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the areas of interest that we have here in kinesiology. So areas of interest is basically a grouping of courses that are specific to an interest of yours or to a topic. And the first area of interest, so if anybody's interested in leadership or coaching or more in that teaching stream, well, we have a series of courses here that you can take that will satisfy that need. So growth in motor, adaptive physical activity, introduction to coaching, leadership and team building, intro to coaching, again, advanced coaching methods, and the outdoor leaders 1 and 2. So courses that you can take, again, that will that are in that area of coaching. The next area of interest is the health and promotion and wellness of and health behavior change. So again, a numerous set of courses that you can take that are in that area of interest. So health promotion and wellness, healthy behavior change, wellness and aging, stress management, body culture, physical activity and sport, all courses that you can take in that area of interest if you're interested in that specific topic. And the last area of interest is the adapted physical activity. So if you're interested in more the adapted side of physical activity, well, there's a series of courses that you can take there. As you can see, the SMILE program is there as well that you can take that will be in that area of interest if that's what you're interested in.
Thanks, everyone. So just to conclude, this recording will be posted up so that students get a chance to look through and look over what the program options are. Please, if you have questions, there's a couple of routes. The exercise science and training and athletic therapy option, where those are the ones with the more formalized application processes. We will have similar recording sessions that are specific to those programs, outline more specific details, and we will make those available. And as well, at early January, we will have a live session to allow students to have questions. So certainly, if you have questions, you can wait until then. If students have questions, feel free to email myself, Colin King, or Dr. Lauren Latimer if you have questions about the athletic therapy option, or to Dr. Fowles or Dr. McCary if you have questions about the exercise science and training options. As well as the honors option. If you have questions related to that, certainly Dr. Shields would be, I'm sure, open to answering any questions you may have there. The other option is, everyone has their academic advisors, so you can certainly reach out to your academic advisor if you have specific questions about any of these program options or areas of interest.